Welcome back to Slay the Princess. Last time we did manage to slay the princess. So this time I was thinking we try to not slay her, but simply leave. I'm not sure how well this is gonna go, but I think this is gonna be interesting. So we're gonna turn around and leave. And we're gonna try that
Seriously?
until we reach
You're just going
an
to
ending.
turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
I have no clue. Yeah, the only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Yes.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Exactly.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He knows more than you.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
No. I'm turning around again and leaving again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I mean, I've done my job once. It didn't help. I'm gonna quickly continue down the
Your
path.
silence is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Indeed.
Oh, would you look at that? We're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Seems so. Oh yeah, well I guess I start walking in a different direction again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking throughout the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Yes.
And here we go.
Oh.
As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
We're on a different side of the cabin.
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Oh, the music is getting weird.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Chapter 2. The Stranger. Okay, we're gonna keep on this path.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Is there a wall on the side of the path?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever. stay in the woods
that's
forever.
Clever. A little boring, though.
Ah.
It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing?
I think so.
No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something. Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing forever.
Yes.
Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Everything's getting fuzzy.
What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
Maybe. The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, sound of many sounds, undulating pulse louder as something other comes close. Oh, it's the hands again. That which dwells in the empty space contracts across the edges of your mind again. She is furious. Betrayal. Every door you close on me is a door you close on yourself. Do you want to linger here, entwined with a creature you taught to hate you forever? Eternity never ends. Old spy. Our infinite shrink into something less. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Okay. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Cool.
And in the basement of that cabin
Let's try to
is
save
a
the princess. Okay, so I'm back in the cabin. We are gonna try to save her. And we're not taking the blade with us.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I'm here to save
How
you.
many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I wonder if she remembers us across, chapters.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'll see what I can do. Examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key is still laying around somewhere up there. And if not, Maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yep.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Nope.
Or we could use it to free her.
Yeah.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the... I don't even have no other option. I'm saving her.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No,
She did not.
she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
She needs a tourniquet.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Yes. Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Let me see. There was somewhere down here was... Yeah. War on her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Oop.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Mm-hmm.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Thank you.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong.
It's okay.
We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever.
she sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I like that, like the last version where we went and actually tried to kill her, like she was made out of swords, and this one is just like, I don't know how to use a dagger.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry you have to do this, dear.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just end like this, right?
It will.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I wonder what voice we will get now.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
We get smitten with us?
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Sure.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Yes. Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
True, the narrator
I do.
does.
But I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
I miss cheated. Cheated was more fun.
Your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
Yeah.
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
That looks quite nice.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
No, I don't want to take the blade. So the mirror vanished as soon as we opened the
The
door.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Aw.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
I mean, they do say in the intro to the game that this is a love story. But yeah, let's not...
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
She has such a pretty dress.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
Oh, gosh.
And she called us a hero.
Yeah.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Yes, we saved the last
That's right,
time.
villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done.
She looks
What
so
matters
precious.
is you have a chance to do it right this time. We
No.
damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
I mean, we have no confirmation that she actually did end the world.
We never saw a world end.
Exactly.
Now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
No. I'm very much anti-world
Isn't
ending.
that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
I see.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Oh, shush you.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
Yeah.
That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
She might have her own narrator, yeah.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
You
I
sure?
think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I wonder if her narrator is male or female. I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Oh,
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
I mean, last time she tried to eat through her hand, so,
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
no. Let's rescue her.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
That's why I left the weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Please don't.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings.
Yeah.
And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings.
What?
That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
This is gonna turn like horrible in some way, isn't it?
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
That's why I left the weapon.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Well, what do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
Aw,
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
must be something you want.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Her eyes have become very big. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Dear God.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
It's like every time we do this, her eyes get bigger. You have to want something more, like, than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Ah, there are the hands. Very good. You don't get the chance to ask another question, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She was our perfect match.
No, she wasn't.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Well... it's gonna be okay, just trust me.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
It is.
Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I'll see you on the other side. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone. And the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. You've grown. What? You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same being you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together.
Well, I did bring very opposite sides to it.
It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Okay. You've been kinder to me than anyone else that I've met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own.
Ah.
They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
So, I can't reach the same ending multiple times. What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
That's good.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
I'm hoping it would balance out the murder knife monster I brought her last time. So you don't have any preference on how you would like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you. I've hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but they are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and you are something more than that, too. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
Okay.
You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Well then, I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die.